7,000 high roller.
Played one period, and when she left the ice, her team was still tied.
Cool.
She did all right. The hockey goalie has come a long way, baby. They never used to wear masks, and now you never know who's behind that mask. Tonight, for the first time in the history of the National Hockey League, a woman was behind that mask. Manon Rhéaume was the starting goaltender for the Tampa Bay Lightning in their game against the St. Louis Blues tonight, and she did a nice job. She got off to a slow start, giving up this goal to Jeff Brown, 2:21 in, but she settled down and stopped 7 out of 9 shots. She left after the first period with the game tied at 2. Rhéaume is only 20 years old, and she has a chance to be with one of the top farm clubs for Tampa this year. By the way, the Blues beat Tampa 6-4.
Ever play in a major league men's sporting event. Rome getting 9 shots on goal in the first period. St. Louis managed to score twice on Manon Rhéaume, and then she left the game with the score tied 2-all.
I don't think about that. I want to think about my other practice, and every day I think about my other practice. I forgot the practice I do, and I think about my other practice, and I don't want to think about that now. I think it's too early.
St. Louis won the game 6-4. Tomorrow night, the North Stars take on the Blues in Duluth. So
we're in the city whose sports entertainment centers on speed, Indianapolis, Indiana. And from the west side, where the big oval for racing is, we move to the northeast side and the Pepsi Coliseum, where tonight Prime Network brings you International Hockey League action as the Atlanta Knights take on the Indianapolis Ice. Hello, everybody. With Mike Miller, this is Ken Double, and we think we've got a really terrific game in store for you tonight. These two teams met 2 nights ago, and Mike, what a great game that was.
Certainly was. A coach's nightmare probably for John Marks of the Indianapolis Ice. Friday night here at the State Fairgrounds Coliseum, they had a 6-2 lead over the Atlanta Knights. Atlanta storming from behind in the third period to make it 6-5. The Ice hold on, win the game by a score of 6-5. But Ken, you have to wonder, with a game like that on Friday night, does it carry over to tonight's game?
And I would anticipate it will. It was very physical here on Friday. These two teams play in the Eastern Conference. Atlanta has the best record in the conference. Indianapolis is in the middle of the pack in the Central Division.
Ken, Atlanta, of course, a club that's played very well all year long, and you look at that Indianapolis club, where they're in the standings right now in the overall conference standings. Hey, maybe a first-round matchup between these two clubs, and maybe tonight we see a little playoff preview.
And as far as the Western Conference is concerned, Indianapolis, check that, Atlanta has popped a point ahead in the overall standings over Milwaukee. San Diego's still the team to beat, but they've been struggling lately.
It's hard to believe, Ken. San Diego, we saw them New Year's Eve in Cleveland. They demolished the Lumberjacks, but you're right, they've struggled the first part of the 1993 portion of the campaign, and it's been very interesting looking at the box scores on a daily basis. You're right, they returned to earth here in the 93 portion of the schedule.
And I think there are some coaches around the league who think now that San Diego is catchable. But right now, it's going to be Indianapolis and Atlanta here in Indianapolis on Prime Network. The IHL on Prime is brought to you by RCA Consumer Products, changing entertainment again, and by Motrin IB. We're coming back to the Pepsi Coliseum and have more on our pregame show after this. This is the IHL on Prime Network.
Baker winner out of the University of North Dakota, #1 in the league, and of course #2 in the league, Keith Osborne. Osborne leads the league with 34 goals, and Herkus leads the league with 71 points. So again, a little sidebar to tonight's game, and it should be an interesting matchup between those two guys.
And a great story a year ago was Ray LeBlanc in the Olympics for the United States team. He is the goaltender for the Indianapolis Ice.
You know, the goals against average surprises me a bit, 4.01, but don't think for a minute this guy can't play at this level. Everybody happened to see that in the Olympics. He's a real tested veteran in International Hockey League play, and David Littman's a guy that has played very well for the Atlanta Knights. Expect a good goaltending matchup here tonight.
The keys to the game, first for the home team, Indianapolis Ice.
Well, they have to avoid penalties. Very good power play for the Atlanta Knights Hockey Club. They're going to have to play physical. They did that on Friday night. John Marks, I know him well. He's preached it since I know him. You got to play 60 minutes, and I know he's looking from his club tonight.
And for the Atlanta Knights, the keys to the game.
Well, regain intensity. They had intensity big time Friday night in the late moments of that contest. They want to see if they carry that over to tonight's game. Goaltending will be a key. Power play for Atlanta, always a key. They're third in the International Hockey League. They have some great personnel in man-up advantages.
The scoring leaders, as we told you, there is Tony Herkus of Indianapolis leading the league. He had a goal and 3 assists Friday night in leading his team over the victory over Atlanta. And Osborne second, but he has the most goals in the league, 34.
Yeah, he's had a great year. He comes over from the St. Louis organization to Tampa. A good year. Surprised me a bit, Ken, that he hasn't seen more ice time with the big club. Great year, 34 goals, 34 assists.
And the assist leaders, McDonough of San Diego, still hanging in there, but he is up with a big club now. He is actually playing his hockey in the NHL. And there you have Herkus once again, who's all over the scoreboard.
43 assists, tying him with Huey McDonough up with the San Jose Sharks, as you mentioned, Ken. And Dale DeGray of San Diego, 40 assists. So a good race going on in the assistant department as well.
And around the league in goaltending, Rick Knickel has seen that goals against skyrocket here a little bit lately.
Well, 2.11. I know a lot of coaches would take a 2.11 in the skyrocketing department. He's been great, but along with San Diego, he has struggled a little bit as of late. Didn't finish his last start. Shuffleoff, been fantastic for the Salt Lake Hockey Club, and believe me, the goaltending overall, I think, in the International Hockey League, a lot of scouts in the seats every night, and really a hockey club and a hockey league, both these teams tonight, we should see excellent goaltending. The whole IHL has featured excellent goaltending all year long.
We'll see Trefilov in the All-Star game later this week. We'll see David Littman, an All-Star goaltender, tonight, and we'll have more from Indianapolis. The opening face-off with the Knights and the Ice.
The following.
Back at the Pepsi Coliseum in Indianapolis, Indiana, we're just about ready to start the hockey game tonight between the Atlanta Knights, the visitors in black, and the Indianapolis Ice, the home team in white. Momentary delay as we get started. Scott Zelkin, the referee, with Andy McKelman and Jay Jacobs, the linesman. And now we're lined up at center ice, ready to go. Indianapolis attacking to the right. They win the face-off. And it's banged around behind David Littman. And we're underway in Indianapolis. And a big hit right off the bat. Mike, an amazing factor in Friday night's Indianapolis win was the physical nature of the game played by the Ice, and something that they have been lacking somewhat.
Really, they finished their checks on Friday night. That's a real key for an Indianapolis club that has a lot of speed, and I think because they have that speed, they get freewheeling a little bit, Ken, and they have to check and they have to learn to finish their checks. They did that on Friday night. It paid off with a 6-5 win. That combination of speed and this Indy club starts finishing body checks like that, they're going to be a factor, believe me.
Now the face-off won by Atlanta. 18, Eric Dubois, the defenseman. A recent acquisition from Oklahoma City. He was initially offered a 25-game tryout as he fires the puck back in. And about the third game into it, Gene Ubriaco was so impressed with his play that he got a contract.
Good for him, and guys moving out of that Central Hockey League. You're to see more of that, I think. Guys moving from the Central to the International League.
Colin Miller, number 8 for Atlanta, couldn't control the puck, and Indianapolis dumps it in. We're just underway. No score in the hockey game. The Atlanta Knights won 5 out of their last 6, but lost here Friday night. playing the puck at center ice. No name on the jersey for number 17. That's Jason Ruff, just acquired, part of a big trade between Tampa Bay and St. Louis. He's playing in his second game with Atlanta. Now it's Kriva Krasov, number 24, ridden off the puck, and Atlanta carries the other way. Across the line, big Martin Samar leaves it at the point for Brent Gretzky. In front, trying to find Osborne, the leading goal scorer in the league. He couldn't get a shot away, and LeBlanc comes out. No whistle from the referee, Scott Zelkin. Play continues. Here's Sean Williams. Too far. Herkus does a great job to keep it alive. They're going to call a trip. And a penalty coming up here on Atlanta. And now the Atlanta Knights taking offense at the shot being fired after the whistle.
Well, Herkus moved in over the line. He was pulled down, as we told you in our pregame show, that he leads the International Hockey League in scoring. Indianapolis over the line, 3 abreast. He was pulled down, and the shot was let go by the Indianapolis ice. Play continued for a moment. Whistle blew, and as we mentioned, a physical game here on Friday night. Right off the bat, the boys gather along the far boards.
A shot of David Littman, the Atlanta netminder, who struggled a bit in Friday's game. He was pulled midway through the game, and Mike Greenlay finished it.
Well, Atlanta, again, caught a little bit on that play, and it was Herkus moving in over the line. He was pulled down, and we'll take a look at the Indianapolis Ice power play. And Indianapolis coming into tonight's game 5th in the league.
Well, although they've called a penalty on Bancroft, apparently unsportsmanlike conduct, he fired the shot, apparently long enough after the whistle that they've placed him in the penalty box as well. So it will go 4-on-4 in front of the goaltenders.
And really a pretty good call. And I think I mentioned when we recapped that play continued a little bit. And maybe Bancroft, for the big crowd, didn't hear the whistle. Referee Scott Zelkin doesn't see that, didn't see the play that way. And I think he made the appropriate call.
So what would have been a power play for Indianapolis turns into a 4-on-4 situation. And Atlanta throws it all the way into the zone. Number 11 in the corner. Dave Capuano takes a big bump from big Adam Bennett. Bennett's 6'5". He spent a little time in Chicago this year. The Blackhawks very high on this youngster.
#1 draft choice of the Blackhawks, Ken.
Now here's Sean Williams, a mainstay in Indianapolis, playing his 5th year in the IHL for the Blackhawks organization. From the point, the shot fired wide. Williams cross ice in front, loose in the slot, and taken away by Atlanta. Rivers pulled down from behind, and a penalty coming up on Indianapolis. And we'll have a delayed offside call there. And now it will be a power play for Atlanta as Sean Williams, there you see him right there, gets called for a hook.
Well, good call, and we're going to take a look now at that Atlanta power play. And they're 3rd in the International Hockey League, operating at 23%. They have scored 62 power play goals and 269 opportunities. And here's a look at the penalty as Atlanta moving out of their own end, and indeed it was Mr. Williams from behind pulling down the Atlanta player. Number 24, Sean Rivers, a very offensive-minded defenseman, and pulled down by Williams. We'll take a look at Atlanta now with the man advantage.
And the play having been 4-on-4 prior to that whistle, so Atlanta's power play will be 4-on-3 in front of the goaltenders for the next minute 7. No score in the early going at the Pepsi Coliseum in Indianapolis. The Ice win the draw, send it all the way down. 24 is Sean Rivers. There you see the numbers on the Atlanta power play, which has taken a ride up lately. Indianapolis 12th, dead last in the IHL killing penalties. So this is an area where Atlanta wants to take advantage. We talked about that in our keys to the game, Mike.
Guys you're going to have to watch too is Osborne. He's got 17 power play goals. Jock Calendar's got 11.
Play to the far side. Big bump behind the net. Drulia almost lost the puck there to Dykhouse. But now Rivers at the point. Around Herkus, the pass to the corner, back to Rivers. Drulia back to Rivers. Now Hervé's got a little room. Right in front, Drulia shot, save, the rebound. Steered wide by the guy they call the Cat. Ray LeBlanc. Now a burst up the rink and an assist from the linesman as Herkus almost had an opportunity to break in all alone.
Tied up at linesman Jay Jacobs getting along the boards.
Now Osborne. We're now 5-on-4 in front of the goaltenders. The power play continues for another 40 seconds for the Atlanta Knights. Rivers, a wrist shot and a goal! Rivers fired a wrist shot from deep in the slot, just inside the blue line, and snaking its way through a maze of bodies. I don't think that LeBlanc ever saw it.
You're absolutely right. Puck shot for the point area, and it was Ivan Tropa, the defenseman, out in front of the goaltender. And LeBlanc, right after the goal went in, had words with defenseman Tropa and said, hey, I got to see it to stop it. LeBlanc did not see that one. It went upstairs. But back to the point, quick wrist shot by Rivers, screening the goaltender again, Tropa, and LeBlanc basically didn't see it. And there was an Atlanta player parked out in front, too, that might have got a piece of that.
That's Jock Callender, and he may get credit for this goal. We'll double check and wait for the official announcement. And now back to action. Here's Brent Gretzky with a backhander. And LeBlanc grabs that one and hangs on. The announcement on the goal. And it's credited to Sean Rivers, his 9th of the year. And it's 1-0 as the assists going to Boston.
As you said, Rivers' 9th goal of the year, Ken. That's his 2nd power play goal, and that gives Atlanta a 1-0 lead here at the State Fairgrounds Coliseum, where Indianapolis has struggled this year. In 24 home games, they're 11-13-0.
And an interesting fact about playing in this building, this is by far the biggest ice surface in the IHL, but it has not proven to be a home ice edge here this season. Now another screen shot. Ended up fired wide, and now from center ice, Atlanta reloads the offensive gun. Here's Kerry Toporowski. LaPuma plays it for Atlanta. He takes a big bump. Dishes one out, the puck loose in the circle, and LaPuma comes away with it. Chris LaPuma, a very colorful 21-year-old youngster out of Chicago. Samard got the arm up. He took Rob Kahn down, and Martin Samard for Atlanta is going to the penalty box. We'll have the call and an Indianapolis power play. When we come to the hockey game, 1-0. We're not quite 5 minutes into the contest, but Indianapolis is going on the power play.
Now Martin Samard in the penalty box area, a rugged individual. It started his career kind of the Calgary organization. Of course, was picked up by Tampa in the expansion draft, and he's played very well as of late for the Atlanta Knights Hockey Club. A rugged individual. Good call by referee Scott Zelkin. Ice on the power play, operating with the extra man, coming into tonight's game at 21%.
Mike, I believe that would have been grabbing the face mask in football. It's roughing in hockey.
Well, no question about that. Grabbed him. Zelkin, if he has a night like that, and every call he has to make is a definite call like that, something he can take a look at. He'll have an easy night of it.
Almost an opportunity as Capuano nearly stole the puck. Now, as Indianapolis breaks in, they're offside, and we have the delayed whistle. And we're going to have a face-off in the neutral zone as this power play continues.
Now the power play unit out there again. Some guns out there for Indianapolis. Woodcroft on the left wing. That's Herkus at center. Sean Williams on the right side. Bancroft on the right point. And Ivan Tropa on the left point. Power play unit, one of the best in the league when these 3 forwards are out there, of course, with Herkus leading the IHL, leading this power play contingent of John Marks' Indianapolis Ice.
Now the puck played into the Atlanta zone. Bucky Buchanan clears it as Callender collides there with Dropa. And early signs here, Mike, that this game possibly could get out of hand. A lot of people trying to find the body early in this hockey game.
One thing you see, Ken, in back-to-back games with common opponents, the second game sometimes billed to be a physical contest. Sometimes it works out that way. Other times it doesn't, but you're right. The start of this game, I think we're going to have a physical contest here tonight.
40 seconds left on the Indianapolis power play. They trail 1-0. Good move around the defense by Kriva Krasov. Into the slot it goes, and Berglund able to get a stick on it and clear the zone. Timmy Berglund playing everything for Gino Briaco, taking his regular shift, killing penalties, an outstanding defensive player who of late has found the net. He's playing on the power play, and his scoring numbers have skyrocketed. Now Indianapolis fires it in. Littman leaves it for Rivers. Off the glass, Kriva Krasov couldn't hang on, and now here's Gretzky with Osborne. Gretzky right to Ozzy, fired it wide. Osborne couldn't connect on that one. The puck still in the Indianapolis zone. Here's Osborne again. The penalty is over. We're back to even strength. Samard from the penalty box. Left it in front for Gretzky. Another save by LeBlanc. Now in the corner. Bennett throws a body. Gretzky goes down but gets the puck to Osborne. Trying to get it to LaPuma at the point. Inadvertently cleared the zone. Atlanta leading 1-0. Reloads the gun as LaPuma fires it behind the net. Played to the far side. Egelin trying to keep it alive for Kahn. Gets tied up over there with Dubois, the defenseman. Atlanta effectively forechecking here as LaPuma has the puck in the neutral zone. It goes off Egelin. Waiting for help as Indianapolis starts a change. Rob Kahn couldn't quite get the shot away, but now it's alive for Crowley. His centering pass taken away by his numerical counterpart, Drulia. Now it's dumped behind the Indianapolis net. LeBlanc lost it. He gets back to the crease, and then the centering pass for Rivers right over his stick. Big bump by Egelin into Drulia, and the puck behind the net. Just inside 12 minutes left in the first period. Atlanta leading 1-0 on a power play goal by Sean Rivers. He has the puck right now, and they'll call a stick above the shoulder, and we'll have more hockey. It's 1-0 Atlanta at Indianapolis. This is the IHL on Prime Network. Leading 1-0 in the early going, and Mike, Atlanta has had the territorial advantage so far.
Well, you mentioned it. Atlanta very effective in their forechecking situation right now, and I think you're going to see a lot of swings of momentum in this hockey game tonight.
The league's leading scorer, Herkus, fires one wide. The deep rebound comes to Capuano with Callender and Drulia. Taken away by the ice. And as the puck is touched by Woodcroft, they rule a two-line pass, an offside pass, and will go back to the Indianapolis zone for a face-off. There's Craig Woodcroft.
Well, Woodcroft, a 6'1", 195-pounder out of Toronto, played for Indianapolis last year. He had a total of 38 points in 75 games, 67 minutes in penalties. Wearing number 19 for the white, black, and silver of the Indianapolis Ice.
We mentioned it earlier, Mike, the huge ice surface here in Indianapolis. There's probably an additional 5 or 6 feet behind each net as the normal rink, and it creates a most interesting style of play. A lot of room for the players to maneuver. It's a little wider than a normal rink as well. Creates a very offensive, wide-open hockey as Callender blasts one. A good stick save by LeBlanc. Callender centers, couldn't quite find Capuano. Now Jeff Buchanan centers one, and the quick glove of LeBlanc keeps Drulia from firing that one in. Now Drulia getting tied up with Mike Spear. The referees step in, separate those two. Cooler heads prevail.
Well, Callender makes a nice play there in that last Atlanta night rush, Ken, in over the Indianapolis line. First the shot that LeBlanc made the save on, then he chases the rebound in behind the goal and centers a pass. And Jock Callender is certainly one of the great, and I mean great, minor pro players of all time. Spent time with Pittsburgh in the NHL. He's got a Stanley Cup ring to show for it, but night in, night out. And believe me, I've seen a lot of this guy, number 15 for Atlanta, Callender. You have to like him at this level. He can dominate games at times.
It's deceiving. He's not the quickest skater on God's green earth. There's no question about that. But he makes his way up and down the rink. He's so incredibly smart and deceptively strong. You cannot separate him from the puck. From the point, the slap shot by Matt Hervey, knocked down by the defense. He whistles another one on net. LeBlanc leaves that for his defense. Pinching in, Berglund keeps the puck alive. Now Sean Byram. Byram coming back after a major shoulder problem. Hasn't played but about half a dozen games. And we talked about the territorial advantage. Look at the shots on goal.
8-2 Atlanta at this point in time with 10 minutes, 38 seconds to go in the first period. And believe me, the shots 8-2, I think, really is what it's been. It's been mostly Atlanta here in the early going. Young man there with a a souvenir with that Indianapolis Heights logo on it. He'll add that to his collection.
There's Gene Ubriaco, head coach of the Atlanta Knights. The inaugural season of this hockey team, and they've enjoyed spectacular success as the top affiliate of the new Tampa Bay Lightning, the new team in the NHL.
Now the bench is located across the ice along the far boards, or side by side here in the State Fairgrounds Coliseum.
Now off the face-off, Atlanta, and Dubois fires one. Played along the far side. Ruff couldn't maintain control, and now it's knocked down by Dubois. And he headmans to Colin Miller. Following the play, Matt Hervey feeds Jason Ruff all alone. Ruff scores! Jason Ruff, in his second game as an Atlanta Knight, just came over in a big deal between Tampa Bay and St. Louis. A Peoria Riverman for most of the year scores in his second game as an Atlanta Knight.
Well, he broke down the left wing boards, got to the top of the circle, and went blocker side on Ray LeBlanc. And you mentioned the trade, but let's take a look at the goal first. Over the line, little stick fake, and bang, right upstairs, top shelf, and that gives Atlanta a 2-0 lead. But you mentioned the trade. That's going to be a great acquisition, I think, eventually, Ken, for the Tampa Bay Lightning organization. They send a couple of veterans to St. Louis and get quote-unquote a prospect.
It was Doug Crossman and Basil McRae going to St. Louis for Ruff and a 4th-round pick. Tampa Bay determining they want to stock up a little more for the future. And Ruff paying dividends. An interesting story. He's a Western Conference All-Star from Peoria, now playing with the Eastern Conference Atlanta Knights. But when the All-Star game is played Wednesday in Phoenix, he'll play for the West.
That'll be a trivia question someday, believe me.
Big bump behind the net as Boston collided there with Woodcroft. Sean Williams plays it ahead to center ice. It's tipped in by Woodcroft, and Indianapolis changes on the play, trailing 2-0 now. We're just past the halfway mark of the first period. Now Drulia, nice drop pass. Oh, from behind, Gretzky got hit with a high stick. A penalty coming up, and Atlanta is going on the power play with a 2-goal lead.
Atlanta goal scored by number 17,
Gretzky,
Jason Ruff. His first goal of the season.
Hit in the back of the head.
Number 3, Matt Hervey.
Now another power play opportunity coming up for the Atlanta Knights. We talked before the game, Ken, about that momentum carrying over from Friday's game. That's certainly been the case so far. Good look at the penalty there as Gretzky hit in the facial area. He went down immediately, and Kevin St. Jacques is the guy going to the penalty box area. So we'll take a look at that Atlanta power play. But Friday night here at the State Fairgrounds, the first game of this two-game set. Big come-from-behind effort for Atlanta. Fell a little short. 6-5 final, Indy win. Momentum's carried over here to the second game.
On the power play, Rivers has the puck at the near point to Hervey. Back to Sean Rivers. Dave Capuano back to Rivers. Capuano gets it again. Hit the goalpost. Now the puck still in play. Rivers, a nice feed to Drulia. Tried to cross ice it here to Capuano. Didn't quite connect. Callender perched in front. Capuano. Behind the net for Drulia. Capuano. Atlanta very patient with 1:15 left on the power play. Callender and Toporowski tied up in front. Right off the side of the cage. A wraparound, a save. The rebound smothered.
Well, here we go again. Right after the save was made, Ken, by Ray LeBlanc. The Atlanta players charged in the net area, the crease area, like they should. And then, of course, Indianapolis coming in to help their goaltender, pushing and shoving after the play. LeBlanc holds on, still 1:05 remaining in that Indianapolis ice penalty.
Make my day.
It was amazing on that power play as Atlanta, as they do, very patiently pass the puck. They're not a team that will pepper the net. They look for the opportunity.
Well, side of the goal there, Drulia let the shot go, and LeBlanc butterflies right at the goal line, makes the save, and Spear came in and took care of his man. Toporowski parked out in front. And we've talked about this Atlanta player, center iceman Calendar. He's always lurking in and around the goal crease area. And we do have a penalty in that exchange as Toporowski's been penalized by our referee, Scott Zelkin. There's a good look at Gary Toporowski. Interesting story there as well. Guy played the Western Hockey League for Spokane, and the same line as Pat Falloon, the San Jose Sharks, and Ray Whitney, the same organization, originally drafted by San Jose. Toporowski dealt to the Chicago organization for Doug Wilson.
So with that penalty, as he got the glove all over the face of Jock Calendar, John Marks and his Indianapolis Ice are shorthanded 2 men for the next minute 5. Atlanta with a prime opportunity here to go up 3-0. They lead by 2. Nearing the 8-minute mark left in the period. Now they give up the puck at center ice. Indianapolis plays it all the way down. Indianapolis has been struggling as a penalty killing unit. They're last in the league, and now they're down 2. Now here's Capuano at the far side. Calendar has moved to the point. He's got the puck. Try to push it in front. Good play by Williams, and he's able to clear the zone with that deflection.
Herkus, Bancroft, and Williams, penalty killers for Indianapolis.
Now Calendar to Capuano, back to Calendar. Couldn't get it up over LeBlanc, who flipped the glove up quickly and smothers that one.
Great scoring chance there. Believe me, from that range, that gentleman we've talked about is deadly. Good save by LeBlanc. A glove hand save, holds on. We'll keep the face-off inside the Indianapolis ice zone. Let's take a look at this play now. Indianapolis again with a 2-man advantage, set it right up, and here's Calendar cutting in, the captain of the Atlanta Knights, who tried to go top shelf on LeBlanc, who went down, snapped it up with the glove hand. He'll hold on.
Calendar 19 goals on the year, denied the 20th on a great play by LeBlanc. 18 seconds remaining on the 2-man advantage. 1:13 left on the Toporowski penalty. Now Atlanta pinching in. Oh, Calendar fell down, couldn't play the puck. A break for Indianapolis. Disgusted Calendar goes to the bench, flips his stick, and says, "Here, you come out. I can't get anything done on the point. You play it." Now Rivers, as the first penalty is over, the power play continues for another 45 seconds. Rivers with the puck. Oh, a deflection right on, and LeBlanc covered that one well. 35 seconds left on the power play. Near side, Ruff goes down, but Gretzky follows the play. Nice pass to Buchanan. His shot knocked down by Spear on a good play. Now Ruff keeps it alive for Osborne with 17 seconds on the power play. Buchanan. Now Osborne. Back to Rivers. Buchanan started to wind and had the puck just flip right up on the blade of his stick. And the penalty is over. We're back to 5-on-5 in front of the goaltenders. Indianapolis does a great job to kill off the 2-man disadvantage.
Ken, not only that, the momentum has been all Atlanta here in the first 2/3 of this period. A lot of times when you get a big penalty kill like that, it'll change momentum. And a big pileup out in front of the goal.
Unbelievable play in front of the net with LeBlanc creamed. And when we come back, we'll sort out penalties here. It's 2-0 in the first period. This is the IHL on Prime Network. Sits in the penalty box, 2 minutes for delay of game. And on this incredible play in front of the net.
Well, they called nothing, Ken, on the original infraction with LeBlanc getting dumped out in front of the goal mouth area. I'm not sure about that call. Indianapolis penalized, delay a game. Bennett, the guy going to the penalty box, and here's another power play opportunity for the Atlanta Knights.
Well, Berglund ran over the goaltender LeBlanc, but he was well out of the crease. Although there wasn't a shot, he wasn't playing the puck. That could have been, should have been, probably an interference call. And then delay of game, and it was really kind of an accident that Bennett ran into the net and knocked it off its moorings. So a tough break now for the Indianapolis Ice. They're shorthanded once again.
The penalty killing unit, 12th in the league, but they've done a good job so far tonight.
Now in front you see Dropa all over Callender to the deep slot. Boston hit the goal post. And Indianapolis clears the zone.
I'll tell you what, if Indianapolis survives this first period, 2 goal posts, some other great scoring opportunities by Atlanta, and the number of power play opportunities Atlanta have had, I think we're going to have a heck of a hockey game. They got to get out of the first period, though.
Unofficially, shots on goal favor Atlanta 16-2. And I think you make a great point. Indianapolis survives all this. There's a shot, another save, the rebound. Truly, you couldn't connect. But they'll be in a position to have a little momentum. Oh, there's a trip at center ice. Herkus would have been headed all alone, or perhaps with his teammate Eglin. And we'll have this penalty call and more hockey after we take this timeout. It's 2-0 Atlanta, and this is the IHL on Prime Network.
Atlanta penalty, number 21, Scott Boston.
Who's getting happy? Who's having fun? Who's been to Hooters? Come on, everyone, it's at Hooters. Hooters. Hooters makes you happy. Hooters makes you happy. Hooters makes you happy. Hooters makes you happy. Good times, great food, fun music, what a hoot. Hooters. Hooters. Everybody's getting happy at Hooters.
With Mike Miller, this is Ken Double. We're back at the Pepsi Coliseum in Indianapolis, and the ice get things evened up as Boston trips Herkus. That would have provided a great shorthanded opportunity for the ice.
4-on-4 situation with the face-off inside the Atlanta zone.
And this will play now for another 35 seconds, and then Indianapolis will go on the power play.
Icing.
Icing is called. We'll head down the other way. And at this point in time, to a certain degree, compared to his counterpart, David Littman, the goaltender, has had a vacation, much to the chagrin of that man.
17-2, Ken, the shots. John Marks trying to weather the storm here in period number 1. And I've seen this over the years. Clubs that get outshot by this margin in the first period of play, but only find themselves down 2 goals. Plus, Indianapolis catches a few breaks here with a couple of goal posts. Believe me, again, they're trying to weather the storm here in the first period. If they get out only down by 2 here at home, I think really it could play to their advantage later.
Interesting point about later too, Mike, is the fact this is the 4th game 5 nights for Atlanta. Come 3rd period on this big surface, they could be a tired hockey team. Now Dropa fires one gloved by Littman. He steers it up the far side, kept in by Andrievsky. Bancroft has a big shot but couldn't get it away cleanly. Now Ruff bangs it off the near boards, and it's carried to center by Berglund. He takes the big bump from Bancroft. And Steve Bancroft has the puck. This guy, 6'1", 214 pounds, now leading the Indianapolis power play as he carries the puck ahead. Dropa across the line for Herkus. Battle for the puck along the boards. Berglund takes it away. And he sends it all the way down. 3:20 left to go in the first period. 45 seconds left on an abbreviated Indianapolis power play. They trail 2-0. Right in front for Woodcroft. Deflected, but Woody has the puck along the far board. Now Kriva-Krasov. Couldn't connect on the pass, and the clearing attempt hit him. A break for Indianapolis. To the deep slot, Bancroft. His pass interrupted by Capuano. He's got Callender trailing. Capuano snaps a shot over the crossbar. A near shorthanded opportunity there for Atlanta. Now the Knights dump it in. The penalty about over. And with 2.5 minutes left in the first period, we're back to 5-on-5 in front of the goaltenders. Kriva-Krasov feeds Woodcroft right in front. Loose for Kriva-Krasov. He's still got it and scores! An unbelievable play. Great second effort. He kept the puck alive and finally scored.
Well, this is exactly what I was talking about, Ken. Atlanta basically owned the first period of play. a couple of goalposts. They put tremendous pressure on all period. And it's Kriza Krasov here in the rebound. Picks it up side of the goal and fires it upstairs to beat the sprawling Littman to make it 2-1. And this is a brand new hockey game. Atlanta really had a chance to put this one away early. And you can see Kriza Krasov. Littman had it at his feet, couldn't grab on. And it was Kriza Krasov, the 19-year-old, getting the Atlanta goal.
And now Samard comes back, and what a play by LeBlanc. Martin Samard all alone went high to the glove side, and that's not the place to go with the Cat. LeBlanc with an unbelievable save to keep it a one-goal game.
I think I inadvertently said a few moments ago the Atlanta goal, obviously the Indianapolis goal, but right there, Ken, Atlanta right back. Glove hand save, Ray LeBlanc. 2:11 to go in the first period. I got a feeling that things are just heating up in this one.
A great first period, a great story to tell here, and that, as Mike told you, Atlanta, with all the momentum dominating the first period, Indianapolis comes back with a late goal. And now we've got a 2-1 score nearing the 2-minute mark left in the first period. Now the puck in the Indianapolis zone. Kriza Krasov taken away by Samard. Battle along the boards. Osborne couldn't play it. Here's Byron. Kriza Krasov. Andrievsky along the boards. Number 28 gets under a player. We get a whistle. And we'll have a face-off. Now with 1:40 remaining. Two to 1 our score. During our first intermission, we'll have an interesting feature for you about perhaps the IHL's most interesting player. Although not here for this game, we're talking about Atlanta's goaltender, Manon Rhéaume, the first professional female hockey player. Gino Briaco calls her Our Lady of the Net. Now the face-off. Play resumes. Indianapolis hoping to get another late goal and tie up this hockey game. Now it's played by Andrievsky. The big guy is 6'5" and tough to move. Kriza Krasov is not nearly as big, and a penalty coming up on Dubois. Indianapolis is going on the power play. A tripping call on Eric Dubois of the Atlanta Knights. He moves to the penalty box as the forechecking pressure by Indianapolis pays off. Now they're milling about on the far side. Cooler heads prevail. No further penalties here. Another look as Kriza Krasov, getting around the check, is taken down. Could have been a hook, could have been a trip. Zelkin says trip. So 2 minutes for tripping at the 18:35 mark into the first period. Dubois sits, and Indianapolis with a chance to get a couple of late ones and tie up the hockey game. They send out Herkus between Williams and it looks like Woodcroft. It is. Woodcroft leaves it there for Herkus. Indianapolis 0 for 2 on the power play so far, but they've got some momentum. Check that. Bancroft with a one-timer, and it's cleared out of the zone, swatted out of there by Sean Rivers. Bancroft didn't tee it up, he just fired it, and a good stick save by Littman. A minute left in the period. If Indianapolis does not score, this power play will carry over to the second period as Capuano dumps it down for Atlanta. Now it's pushed into the zone. Another penalty coming up on Atlanta. A delayed call, and Atlanta will go down 2. Capuano and Williams glaring at each other. I think Capuano is going to the penalty box. Maybe we're going to have double minors here. Apparently not. The final 40 seconds of this first period will be played as a 2-man advantage for Indianapolis.
Atlanta penalty, number 11.
Capuano questioning Scott Zelkin, the referee, but it's a high sticking call at the 19:20 mark. And as it was for Atlanta, a 2-man advantage earlier in the period, it's now a 2-man power play for Indianapolis. Gene Ubriaco a little concerned now, hoping that his penalty killing unit that's been operating at 79% for the year can hold off for 40 seconds and carry these penalties over to the next period. The Knights win the draw and send it all the way down. A big face-off won there by Atlanta. Now Indianapolis looking for the tire. Sean Williams. Littman steers it to the far side. Berglund hacks at it like a golfer, couldn't clear it. Berglund trying to make the play on the far side, kept alive for Dropa, just missed the near post. Now Herkus, the league's leading scorer, has the puck, booms a shot, a save, the rebound, scramble, finally smothered. Indianapolis did everything but score on that one. Littman with a great first save, and then like an acrobat was flying all over the goal crease. And he and his defenders able to keep the puck out of the net with just 3 seconds left. Herkus fired high. Littman got it on the shoulder, and then the scramble. Finally, he got the big blocker on it and was able to cover the puck. Now an important face-off here as these players jockey for position. There you see David Littman. 14-8-1, one of the all-star goalies for the game in Phoenix Wednesday. Now Berglund to take the draw with Herkus. Berglund wins the faceoff. A quick centering pass, and the period's over. Now Rivers and Bancroft pushing and shoving. Bancroft took a swipe at Rivers with his stick. All this after the horn sounded. We may have more penalties to start the second period. A wild first 20 minutes. Great hockey. Up and down the rink she went. And the Atlanta Knights finished the first 20 minutes with a 2-1 lead on the scoreboard. And an interesting 20 minutes and an interesting intermission coming up. This is the IHL on Prime Network.
Our first intermission guest, Tony Herkus of the Indianapolis Ice Hockey Club. Tony, you guys hang in there. I look at the scoreboard one time in the first period. You're being outshot 17-2. Atlanta with a lot of power play opportunities. You get a late goal from Kriza Krasov, so you're right back in it here at the end of one.
Yeah, we kind of weathered the storm. Atlanta came out hard at us first 10 minutes and peppered our goalie with a lot of shots, and they had a couple power plays which they capitalized on, but we got a good goal by Krivo, and we came on from the last 8 minutes on, and we played with them the rest of the period.
These two clubs got together on Friday, of course, and the Atlanta Knights staged a big comeback late in the game. You guys hold on to win it by a score of 6-5. Do you feel maybe some of the momentum from that Friday game carried into over tonight's game for Atlanta?
Well, no doubt. Atlanta came back with four goals in the third period, and we didn't play as well as we did the first two periods. So, of course, they came out with the momentum, and we were a little flat. We had to, but again, we weathered the storm and we came back a little bit. We got to go on for the second period now.
Tony, congratulations, you. Great year, leading the International Hockey League in scoring.
Well, it's we have a pretty good team here. A lot of the young guys, and they're pretty enthusiastic about the year. And we've been playing all right. At times we play well, at times we don't, and it showed through individual efforts. And we had a lot of them this year, and I'm just fortunate to be on the team where we do get those efforts, and we're going to carry on from then.
Tony, your relationship, of course, with John Marks, coach of the Indianapolis Ice, goes back a long way, back to your Hobey Baker winning awards as college's best player a number of years back. So you and John been together for a while. Yeah, well, I first played for him in 84, 85 in North Dakota my freshman year, and then he coached me for a couple of years in North Dakota, and he's a great coach then, and he's helping this club a lot. He's helping the younger guys learn about the game. He's played the game for a number of years now, and he knows by experience, and he's a A1 coach, and he's given me a lot of ice time here in this club, and I'm really glad he's doing that with me. Tony, this club, Indianapolis, has had its ups and downs, of course, and you guys seem to get on a roll every now and then, and at other times you guys basically seem to hit the skids. What do you foresee in the second part of the season? Well, I think we'll do all right. Our defense is coming along a little better. Our goals against is pretty good. I think it's one of the better ones in the league, but
our special teams are letting us down a little bit. Our penalty killings are worse in the league, and our power plays not up to par. So I think that's hurting us a little bit. And our defensive game has slipped a few games. Our mental game, I guess you could say, is our preparation for the games aren't as good as we should be. I think that that belongs to the young guys, not enough experience, and they'll learn over the years. And you know, right now they are learning, and we're going to have to go on from there, be better prepared.
Tony, thanks a lot for stopping down. Good first period. Again, Atlanta leading Indianapolis here at the end of one at the State Fairgrounds Coliseum. It's the Atlanta Knights 2, the Indianapolis Ice 1. Let's go back upstairs now with Ken Double.
All right, Mike Miller, thank you very much. Interesting interview with the league's leading scorer, and we'll have a feature on Manon Rhéaume and more when we come back. We're in our first intermission of an exciting card in sports right now. Well, it's not some old Babe Ruth baseball card or a Mickey Mantle card. It's this, Manon Rhéaume, the first ever professional female hockey player. She has been a spectacular story in hockey, internationally known. An opportunity right now to take a look at Manon Rhéaume.
I started to play hockey at 5 years old. I started to skate at 3. My parents make the outside ice. It's why I started to skate very young. And my 2 brothers play hockey, and when I would like to play with him, they said, go in the net and we're gonna shot on you. And it's why I start like this. First of all, for me, it's not important to be the first woman. The fact is, I'm the first woman, and if they can help other women, I think it's good. Because when I was young, I never see a woman at this level, and it's why I never think to go higher. And sometimes when I have some problem because I'm a girl, I was discouraged, and sometimes I think to stop. And it's why now, if they can help other women to continue to play, or if they can help other men too, if some boys, if a girls can do this, I can do this, I think it's good too. I practice every day with the guys, and after every day I have outside training, and I do some weights and aerobic thing and flexibility too. It's why I work hard every day and to try to catch up and to be stronger on the ice. Oh, when I was young, one of my favorite goaltenders was Daniel Bouchard. He played for Quebec Nordics, and now I have the chance to meet him because he lives in Atlanta. It's good to meet him. I think I have a lot of pressure for this game. I don't have to put more in my shoulder when I said it's an IHL game. I just think to do my best and to concentrate on the game. And I was very nervous before the game, but when I go on the ice, I feel good. No, I never think to be here before. I never see a woman in professional hockey. It's why every year I want to play because I love that. And but I love the competition. It's why I want to go higher every year.
We've had an opportunity to cover Manon Rhéaume a lot, and she's just delightful and a courageous hockey player.
Maybe one of the biggest stories in professional hockey this year, Ken, but you've had the opportunity to cover her all year long, and believe me, we've seen you down in Atlanta a couple of times when I was down there, and I agree. Not only a great story, but a great person.
She's just delightful and handling all the media publicity and everything else very well, and I'm sure at some point in time she's going to have quite an opportunity to handle the puck a little more as well. We'll have more from Indianapolis and a terrific hockey game. You stay tuned. And as we get underway, a great opportunity for the Ice to tie. They've got a 5-on-3 advantage as this second period opens.
Late penalties, Ken Double to the Atlanta Knights. Dubois off for tripping at 18:35. Then Capuano high sticking at 19:20. 2-1 lead for the Atlanta Knights. 5-on-3. Herkus, Woodcroft, Williams, Bancroft, and Dropa out there for the Indianapolis Ice. 5-on-3.
Sean Williams pushes it ahead to Herkus. Sean Rivers catches up to him. Sean Williams, number 9. Now to Bancroft. He can fire the biscuit. He'll crank it up. Good low shot. Williams scores! Check that. Not Williams. It's Herkus. The league's leading scorer. Pops the rebound home, and we're tied at 2.
Mr. Littman would like to have that one back. Believe me, it was tough enough to make the original save on that shot from the point. But what happened is Littman screened here. Now watch the shot. It originates from the point area. Herkus then moves from the right wing circle, and Littman did all he could to stop the deflection by Williams, and the puck came right across to the crease, and upstairs goes Herkus, and this one's knotted up. I hate to say we told you so, but you could almost see this coming. There's Bancroft. Good low shot there. That's the key. Littman with Williams parked out front. Herkus upstairs. Littman maybe going down just a hair early. You can't blame him on the goal, though. 5-on-3 is tough anytime.
Most importantly, it happened with 16 seconds left on that first penalty. So now Indianapolis still has 45 seconds on a 5-on-4 power play. Woodcroft behind the net. Bancroft didn't get all of it. Oh, Littman misplayed it, and a break as Atlanta clears. If Indianapolis has a player right there in the near circle, they get 2 goals in the first minute of the second period and take the lead. What a terrific hockey game. We've had some good games in our series, but so far, this is the most exciting hockey game we've had in our IHL series on Prime Network.
Well, a lot of swings of momentum. Sorry, Kenny, and that always makes for a good game. Atlanta early, Indianapolis late, and Indianapolis now carrying the play.
Now Herkus cross ice for Krivokrasov. Here's Bancroft. Now Dropa moving in. Blisters one. Big save, Littman. Woodcroft didn't have an angle. Hit the side of the net with a shot. Now the penalty over. We're back to 5-on-5 in front of the goaltenders. Well, we wondered what kind of a start would we have to the second period? Wild. Now Atlanta. They're going to see what they can do to get the momentum back. Try and diffuse this Indianapolis Ice team a little bit. Battle for the puck along the far board. Taken away by the ice. Andreevsky. This guy's huge on skates. 6'5" before he straps him on. From blade to the top of his helmet, he's about 6'8". Across the line, Colin Miller the other way. His shot knocked down. A battle for the puck in the corner as Atlanta changes on the play. Ubriaco now sends out Gretzky, Samard, and Osborne. And we'll have an icing call here. No, it's played by Littman. They waved it off. And Atlanta with Matt Hervey. Martin Samard, number 12. Pass knocked down by Andreevsky. And Krivokrasov. I teased John Marks. I said, do you have to be that tough on the announcers? Couldn't you play those guys on different lines? He says, I'm not worried about the announcers. I want to win hockey games.
Sounds like Marksy, no doubt about that. We come second, maybe third, believe me. We'll see more of that, Kenny. Guys coming from the former Soviet Union. Commonwealth of independent states now because of the political situation there. We understand there's a lot of good ones over there.
Now Atlanta fires it in. LeBlanc behind the net. Gives the puck here to the near side, and Dykhouse, and we've got Toporowski and Samard glaring at each other. Topper dropped his stick. Samard steered away from the fight, which is unusual. Topper actually broke his stick. He had to drop it. Now the puck again played in the Indianapolis zone. Here they go. Toporowski all over Samard. A couple of heavyweights here. Toporowski playing in just his 13th game. Missed almost all of last year with a badly separated shoulder that needed major reconstructive surgery.
Well, you hit the nail right on the head. Ken, 2 heavyweights going at it here. Dykhouse in behind the net. He's hit. Now comes Toporowski in, and Toporowski flailing away there with the left hand. Samard, he's out of the Mo to the Calgary Flames, a rugged individual. Had a chance to see him a number of years ago.
We'll have the penalty calls and more after we take time out. It's 2-2 in Indianapolis.
I don't think he's from around here.
Kerry Toporowski and Martin Simard will each take 5-minute fighting penalties. The major penalties coming 3:35 into the second period. And with the major penalties, both players can be replaced on the ice, so we're 5-on-5 in front of the goaltenders. The teams just lose the services of those two players for the next 5 minutes, and quite frankly, that hurts Atlanta more than it does Indianapolis, in that Simard is a better scorer, bigger player, and
maybe more valuable to his team at this point in time, but you got to give Toporowski credit too. We talked about it during the break, Ken. He's coming off a major injury last year. A guy that was sent to the Chicago organization through the San Jose Sharks. And we have additional calls here. Bench minor coming up.
Atlanta has received a bench minor. Scott Zelkin felt he had enough from somebody, and I think what Atlanta would have been complaining about, they would have wanted a 2-minute instigating penalty against Toporowski, who had earlier taken a run at Simard, and Simard backed away from the play.
Now, Gene might have a pretty good beef there, and we had a good look in the replay there down in the corner. I think it was Toporowski looking for it, but a decent hit, and that's a judgment call by the referee, and one that I'm really unsure of myself. I think the way the flow of the game's going, our referee, Scott Zelkin, said, hey, before this thing gets totally out of hand, I just want to start set a precedent here to maybe keep things under control.
So the bench minor puts Indianapolis back on the power play early in the second period in a game tied at 2. They scored, did Indianapolis, with a 2-man advantage at the top of the period to tie the hockey game. Now they're 5-on-4 in front of the goaltenders. Now good play by Atlanta to play the puck off the faceoff and rag a little time off this penalty. Atlanta's penalty killing unit has suffered a little bit of late. They were in the 81 to 82% range for a while. Now they're down to 79%. And it's been an area of concern. Special teams play in general was an area of concern for Gene Ubriaco. Now here comes Craig Woodcroft. Woody, number 19, 12 goals for the year. Battle for the puck in the corner, and it's under an Atlanta night. Stan Drulia, and we'll have a face-off in the Atlanta zone to the left of David Littman. There's Stan Drulia. What a great story he's been. 13 goals in 17 games as an Atlanta Knight. He has split time between Atlanta and Tampa Bay. Here's a guy that was in the East Coast League, and it appeared he'd never make it to the big show. Sheer determination right there.
Those guys you have to love. You don't think that's a jump from the East Coast Hockey League, the National Hockey League, expansion or not. Hats off to that youngster, number 20, Stan Drulia. 5'11", 190-pounder. Played New Haven, American Hockey League last year, 102 points in 77 games.
Now Bancroft cranks it up and fired it wide. And the Knights able to send it all the way down. Steve Bancroft with the booming slap shot. Can he fire the puck? A great point player on the power play.
Well, you look at his stats, too, right up there in the plus-minus for Indianapolis.
Woodcroft carrying in again, couldn't control. Now Berglund trying to make a play. And Indianapolis, with 44 seconds left on the power play, reloads the gun. Big crowd on hand at the Pepsi Coliseum, almost a sellout. So far, enjoying the action they're seeing. .25 seconds on the Indianapolis power play. Steve Bancroft feeds Sean Byram. Byram had shoulder surgery, a major separation in training camp. He's just been playing the last couple of weeks. Dykhouse couldn't keep it in at the point, and Berglund pushes it all the way down, and the penalty just about over. Now we're back to 5-on-5 as Andrzejewski carries in. It's behind the net. Battle for it there. Now Osborne pushes it to center ice, tied up with the big guy Andrzejewski. Got about 5 inches on Osborne. Just that reach makes it tough to control the puck from him. Now Byram, if he catches up to that one, has an opportunity. And Osborne couldn't clear. Battle for the puck there. It's off a skate. Krivokrasov couldn't control. Now Dubois, the defenseman, leading the rush to Gretzky with Berglund in front. Rolled it behind Berglund, and it's played by Indianapolis. They send it all the way down, about hit the linesman Jay Jacobs in the nose with that one. And we'll have an icing call. 13:39 to go, second period. We're tied at 2 in a dandy in Indianapolis. This is the IHL on Prime Network. Tied at 2, 13:39 to go, second period. This is Ken Double with Mike Miller. Hope you're enjoying this one. A dandy hockey game here at the State Fairgrounds.
Really is, Ken. Indianapolis and Atlanta playing on Friday night. That was a barn burner. We have the makings of one here tonight. Penalty call coming.
Indianapolis going shorthanded as Bancroft got the stick on Rivers. Check that, Jean Blouin. First time Johnny B's been on the ice all night, as his nickname goes. And Bancroft will find his way to the penalty box, and Atlanta will go back on the power play. They were 1 for 4 on the manpower advantage in the first period, and now they'll have really their first opportunity to get the lead back.
Bancroft's a guy I really like back in that Indianapolis Blue Line Corps. 41 games, 7 goals, 23 assists, 30 points. Ken, you talked about the great shot, but he's also done very well defensively. He's a +9. Herkus leading the club in a +10 type situation. Bancroft, the guy that originally started the Toronto organization. I think he's a real find for the Blackhawk organization. 6'1", 214-pounder.
For the casual observer, Mike, talk a little bit about the plus-minus statistic.
Well, if you're on the ice in an even strength situation and you score a goal, you're a plus. Same situation, even strength, you're on the goal for a goal against you, you're a minus. Add the 2 things up, and that's one of the most widely used stats, of course, in pro hockey.
Now Ruff fired, knocked down to the deep slot Rivers. Buchanan lets it go. Kept in by Atlanta. No, cleared by Herkus on a good play. Bumped off the puck. Rivers trying to make a play. The stick went farther than the puck. Herkus gets one from the bench. And now Gretzky carries in. Right through the goal mouth, almost to Ruff. Near miss right there for Atlanta. Now Osborne and Spear going at it. Osborne with the puck. Blast one, popping over LeBlanc and almost in. That one just missed the far post. Now Gretzky. He's got a lane to shoot at. Knocked down in front on a sliding play by Mike Spear. Spear doing a good job on this penalty kill. 45 seconds on the power play for the Knights. Cross ice it goes to Osborne. Much like going against a zone defense in basketball, you try and get that box to shift and create an opportunity. That pass doesn't connect, and Indianapolis is able to send it all the way down.
Half a minute to go in this Atlanta power play. They've had some chances, but again, Indianapolis weathering the storm. 12th in the league in the penalty kill, but they played much better than that here tonight in shorthanded situations.
To the far side, a booming shot knocked down, never got to LeBlanc. Here's Sean Rivers. Matt Hervey up the side of the cage. It goes back to Hervey. He's got some room in the deep slot, and LeBlanc hangs on. Squeezes the pads and holds on to the puck. 5 seconds now remaining on the manpower advantage.
Well, Ray LeBlanc, another fella. You know, I guess I'm a little partial to these type players. Your Stan Drulias, your Jock Calendars, your Dave Mikhailics, career-type minor league players that have some good things happen to them. And LeBlanc, what a great story. Everybody well aware of that. Here's a save coming up by the Indianapolis Ice goaltender. Shot from the point. LeBlanc dropping to his knees and cutting the angle, and that one coming out of the crease and holding on. But this is a guy that spent time in Saginaw, Flint, Fort Wayne, Indianapolis. He's been everywhere, and eventually his claim to fame, the Olympics, and of course played very well for the United States club competing there.
There was a time that Indianapolis, with the Chicago organization as the parent club. Now the power play is over. Here's Bancroft behind the defense. Fired it just wide of the goalpost. Now here's Drulia the other way. All along, Stan Drulia saved the rebound. He fired it wide. End-to-end action in Indianapolis. Now to the point. LaPuma fakes the shot. Tied up. And as he puts it back in, he'll put his team offside. Unbelievable end-to-end play, as we haven't had the whistle yet. We won't have the offside called. And the puck goes all the way down, and it's played by Atlanta. Caught Indianapolis in a change. Capuano for Callender. He fires. Got way too much of that one. And we go the other way. Here's Herkus. Boston is back. Herkus with a circus move in front, taken down. Oh, and a big shot fired by Dykhouse. Throw the defense out the window. Up and down the rink. Lots of shots on goal. What a game in Indianapolis. Now Dykhouse right in front. Woodcroft deflected it over the crossbar.
Well, we've seen everything in this one. How do you like it so far?
Undoubtedly the best game of the year. Now Atlanta just happy to clear the puck as Woodcroft hit Boston with a good one, got the fans to their feet. Now Rivers keeps it in at the point. Spins it around here. Dykhouse takes a pop in front at Berglund, who got two-timed in front of the net. Right in front, shot, save LeBlanc as Jean Blouin just missed. Another shot, another save. Johnny B couldn't get all of it. He went down. Williams trying to clear the puck, and finally Bancroft has it. Here comes Sean Williams. This crowd really alive. We're in a 2-2 tie. You'd think this was Game 7 of the Turner Cup Finals. Although I think the defense would be a little better in Game 7, don't you, Mike?
You might see some more conservative
right
play.
In front. Herkus is smothered by Littman, who was prone on the ice and made the save. Unbelievable play in Indianapolis. We're still tied at 2. This is the IHL on Prime Network. This game has really taken a turn to the offense, and look at right in front.
We have a change on Atlanta's first goal.
Well, Herkus, a great chance there. Littman throwing the left leg up and making it stop at point-blank range. First he handles the short hopper. Here comes Herkus from in behind the net. Glove hand, left leg up. Rivers comes in to help and holds on.
Well, both these coaches will have something to talk about during their second intermission, like find your wingers, play some defense.
Now, I think you touched on it too, Kenny, and I know it's not as wide open all the time as it is right now. It's great entertainment, the coach's nightmare at times, but I think the large playing surface really has something to do with this as well, as we're seeing end-to-end action and great scoring chances both ends of the ice.
They're flying around the rink like they fly around the 2.5-mile oval at the Speedway. Speed's incredible tonight. Intercepted by Indianapolis. Here comes Andreevsky with Byram. Andreevsky around his check. A shot, a save, the rebound. Fired wide. Now Ruff onside to Miller. Miller looking for help, tied up by Toporowski. Miller throws it in front, taken away. Held in by Hervey. Banged off the boards and cleared down the rink. We'll have an icing call. No, it never got there. Littman plays the puck. Now Atlanta throws it to the Indianapolis line. A chase for the puck. And it's cleared ahead. Eric Dubois. Rod Kahn cuts him off, but Dubois leaves it for Scott Boston. 2-2, we're tied. Nearing the 8-minute mark left in the second period that has left us breathless. Now Martin Samard dumps it on the diagonal. LeBlanc way out. Flips it here to the near side. Samard there first. Kahn steers it to the far side. Samar. Boston right through the goal mouth. Osborne tied up with Dropa.
That's a great play there by Ivan Dropa. He worked that puck out, eventually out on the hit along the boards on Osborne.
Now a 2-on-1 developing as Egelund booms a shot. He got too much of it. Loose in the front and taken away by the Atlanta Knights. Now Gretzky as Kahn got a stick on him. They both go down. No call. Oh, pushing and shoving right in front of the Atlanta bench as the puck is played in the Atlanta zone. And the penalty coming up.
Now Rob Kahn right in front of the bench area there takes a little advantage of Brent Gretzky, the rookie, gives him a little shot and how do you do and welcome to the International Hockey League. Again, Ken, as you said, a little bit of everything here tonight. That makes for entertaining hockey. And, you know, the powers to be in this professional game over the years have wanted to open the game up. You mentioned it, coach's nightmare, but it's great to see some end-to-end action.
There you see Gretzky and Kahn going down on the far side, and then Kahn took a little swipe at Gretzky. Took a good swipe at Gretzky on that one. And that's a little dangerous, or gutsy on Kahn's part, right in front of the Atlanta bench.
Outnumbered big time right in front of that Atlanta Knight bench area. Now Egelund involved as well over there. Kahn came in. He gives Brent Gretzky a shot. And, geez, I've heard that name someplace before.
Just once or twice. Tracy Egelund taking the penalty. For Egelund, this is his third year with the Indianapolis organization. Last year, for a kid who was pegged as a tough kid, scored 20 goals for the Indianapolis Ice in 66 games, racking up 214 penalty minutes. He can play the body, there's no question. But he came on a little bit as a scorer. Now we're having a lengthy discussion at the scorer's table as you see Ray LeBlanc, the hero of Albertville for the United States hockey team. He really had a great series. Well, we know you're enjoying this hockey game, and we think you'll enjoy the All-Star game. Our next telecast comes from Phoenix, Arizona. When you think hockey, you certainly think Phoenix.
I think golf, too, once in a while, to be honest with you, Kenny, but it should be a great week out there. I know the league looking forward to it. And, we'll take a look at that in the second intermission as well. But I think they did it right this year, I think, Ken. Last year, I know down in Atlanta, not to say that you guys didn't do it right, but a little time off. A lot of clubs coming in last year, playing the night before. A little different this year. 4 days off. IHL meetings going on and the All-Star game.
Now Egelund is called for a 2-minute penalty.
And see if you have the U-Win sticker.
Good look at the referee, Scott Zelkin. He's been busy tonight. John Marks in behind the Indianapolis Ice bench area, pacing the former Chicago Blackhawk, who at one time held the Blackhawk record for consecutive games played. That record now held by Steve Larmer.
So after that melee, Atlanta is on a power play, and we'll have to double check the announcement on the penalty. Egelund is in the penalty box, but we'll have to double check. It's a roughing call. That has offset a couple of unsportsmanlike conduct calls, and that has put the Atlanta Knights on the power play in a 2-2 hockey game. Inside 7 minutes left in the second period. Matt Hervey wears number 3. Deshaun Rivers, the other point player on the power play. Now Hervey. Capuano. He's out there with Callender and Drulia. Hervey, a shot, and LeBlanc hangs on.
Real key on that play, Indianapolis clearing the front of the goal mouth area out. And LeBlanc got a good look at that from the blue line, and that's no problem for guys at this level.
And again, since we're in the Hoosier State, we should compare this to basketball. It's like blocking out for a rebound. Keep your players out of the way. LeBlanc doing a little clearing of his own.
They didn't clear out as well as I thought they did in the replay, and thanks for that look, guys. But most generally, that's what you're trying to do in this 5-on-4 situation.
Our telex crew, home-based right here in Indianapolis, capturing the pictures for you. Tom Fix, the producer, Chris Watt, the director. Roger Deppie is our statistician here. The prince of the Indianapolis 500. Roger Deppie has worked stats at the 500. I'm not going to tell you how many years, just a lot of years. He must do a good job at it because he's been there for a long, long time. Now Callender feeds Hervey. A shot and a goal! Atlanta scores on the power play. And again, the Achilles heel for this Indianapolis Ice team is penalty killing, and they get burned again. It's 3-2 Atlanta.
Now look out, Toporowski after the play, having some words with Capuano and Callender. Here's the replay of the goal, some discussion going on. I'm not sure what happened on this shot. Well, basically Hervey firing one along the ice. I think Ray LeBlanc wants that one back. And we get a better angle here, top of the circle. Hervey bang along the ice between the pads, and it's in the net. Ray wants that one back. Atlanta takes a 3-2 lead. Power play goal, still 6:01 to go.
Mike Miller, Ken Double back in Indianapolis. We've had one heck of a hockey game so far. The Atlanta Knights leading 3-2, and Indy almost putting it in their own net. LeBlanc had to be sharp on that one as it rolled off of Dropa's stick and almost went between the pipes. Tough it up when you got to stop the opposition shots. When they come from your own players, it makes it doubly tough.
Now Byram moves in there, the left-handed shot. He's trying to pull that thing back, but he's going to switch around now, do a little spinorama and try to get it back to the corner. But LeBlanc on his toes. They're well aware something like that can happen, but a guy that has played very well tonight, Ray LeBlanc, certainly, I think, letting in a bit of a soft one there, just trying to get it back together here. Got a lot of hockey to go on this one.
Off the face-off, the Knights from center fire it back in, and we have the delayed offside called with 5:20 remaining.
We're talking to Jock Callender, I understand, in our second intermission break. Comes into tonight's game, 12th in league scoring. He has a total of 51 points in 41 games. 19 goals, 33 assists now. That gives him 52 points. He picked up an assist, of course, on the Hervey goal to give Atlanta that 3-2 lead. There's a look at Jock. Older brother Drew that spent time with the Vancouver Canucks in the National Hockey League.
Those days in Muskegon, before they became the Cleveland Lumberjacks, when Callender was there, Mikhailuk was there, they had everybody there. You wonder how anybody beat that club.
That was a nightmare, that building, Ken.
Could they score? Now here's Jason Ruff. Ruff has a goal tonight. He moves in. Oh, with a cute move. Almost got that one, and a tripping call coming up. Atlanta is going back on the power play. An inadvertent trip. The stick got down around the skates. One of those kinds of a whoops plays. Dropa knows it. He's going right to the box. And Atlanta's going right back on the power play after just scoring the lead goal.
Indianapolis penalty, number 6.
Well, you're exactly right. It is a penalty call, and Dropa right to the penalty box area. He got the sticks in between the legs of the Atlanta player. I believe that's Miller, and down he went. Here comes the Atlanta power play again. 3-2 game. Indianapolis has fought from behind in this one. It's only a 1-goal margin now. This is a big penalty killing situation for John Marks in the Indianapolis Ice here. John knows it. He didn't want to be in this situation right now.
Marksy looks like he could use a little Motrin IB pain reliever right now. Looks like the headache has come on a bit.
He might take 2 right now, believe me.
4:40 left to go in the second period. 1:45 on an Atlanta power play. They had a 2-goal lead, and Indianapolis came storming back. Now Atlanta is on top again, trying to get back to that 2-goal margin. Now Osborne digging in the corner. That's Toporowski back there again. Topper's one of those guys, the spotlight's kind of always on him. Trouble seems to follow, and off the ice, the most quiet, "Hi, how are you?" is about the longest sentence you'll ever get out of Kerry Toporowski, a delightful young fella.
Now, if you fans tuned in, and Ken and I both been around this game long enough, you find that so true in this business. You watch 60 minutes of great hockey action like this, guys going head-to-head, banging each other, and mild-mannered and just the calmest bunch of individuals off the ice, in most cases, that you'd ever want to see.
Now Matt Hervey to Rivers. Quick pass to Osborne. He's the league's leading goal scorer with 34. He booms a shot. Went wide. Callender feeds it back to Osborne. Atlanta likes to patiently move the puck to give and go. Couldn't quite connect. Hervey chased by Herkus. be careful as far as Atlanta's concerned with Herkus on the rink. At the same time, Atlanta has given up a boatload of goals while on the power play, 13 of them. And guys like Herkus can be very, very dangerous. Indianapolis might be peaking for a scoring chance here late in the period, in spite of the fact they're shorthanded. Now Callender. Capuano brings it back out. Hervé, Capuano. Very patiently waiting with 30 seconds on the power play. Nearing the 3-minute mark left in the period. Now Osborne. Credit Indianapolis and their penalty killing unit here. Atlanta just has not been able to find a shot. Nice play by Callender. A quick shot, and LeBlanc makes the save. Callender did a great job to lift the stick and take the puck and create an opportunity there. Now Osborne and Toporowski still glaring at each other. There you see Ray LeBlanc, and just to the far side, those two still going at it. Here's the play.
Now that's vintage Jock Callender right there, picking up loose pucks in the slot area and letting shots go from close range. LeBlanc the same. We touched on this a few moments ago, Ken, about face-offs, especially deep in your own end. And the face-offs become all important now in this situation for Indianapolis. Shots on goal. Knights lead Indianapolis 30-17. But you watch your best center iceman taking the draws right now, and you know who's out there, number 11, Tony Herkus. He's a guy that's out there now to win the draw and hopefully get a big clear here with 13 seconds to go in the Atlanta power play.
Trofa will be out of the box in 13 seconds as Atlanta wins the faceoff. Now 26, Chris LaPuma pushes it behind the net. Jason Ruff moving in. The shot, a save, the rebound. Kept alive by Ruff. The penalty over from the deep slot. Buchanan shoots. Diving play by LeBlanc to clear. And now we're back to 5-on-5 in front of the goaltenders with just about 2.5 minutes left. Here's Gretzky with Ruff behind him. He fires wide. Kept in there by LaPuma. He took a big bump along the boards. That was Crowley who got all of him on that pop. Now Indianapolis the other way. Here's Crowley. Littman leaves it for the defense. Now Atlanta pushes the puck ahead. Ruff tied up off the play, and LaPuma has to wait for the zone to clear before Atlanta can throw it back in. Just a tick under 2 minutes left in the second period. A sensational hockey game tonight in Indianapolis. And the ice dumping all the way down. There'll be no icing here. Atlanta bangs it all the way down. There'll be no icing here. Now Toporowski has it. Battle for the puck in the corner. Comes here to the near side. And the ice trying to clear the zone. They do with 1:25 left to go in the second period. Egelin sends it in. Indianapolis changes on the play. Atlanta ahead to Miller. Across the line, just a little too far on the play to Jean Blouin. Here comes Dykhouse. Kriva Krasov misses the kick, trying to keep the puck alive, and Colin Miller a little too far for Berglund with 1 minute left in the period. 3-2, Atlanta on top. And it's ruled offside.
Offside, Indianapolis.
And we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone as Indianapolis was ahead of the puck. And again, in our second intermission, we'll chat with Jock Callender. And we'll also have that feature about our upcoming All-Star game in Phoenix. The Roadrunners hosting the IHL All-Stars, the best of the East against the best of the West. And we're looking forward to heading into Phoenix a little early for league meetings. There's Jocko, the team captain. Been around a long time. His young son Chase appears to be ready to play hockey right now. And Chase is all of about 2.5. But he runs around here with a hockey stick in his hand all the time. Now Atlanta fires it in. LeBlanc has the puck. Along the near side. Good job by Drulia for Atlanta to pinch in and keep it alive. Now Hervé throws it behind the net. Inside 20 seconds left. Atlanta trying to keep Indianapolis bottled up, but now the puck rolled into the Atlanta zone. They clear to center as it's brought back in by Byram. That creates an offside.
Fans, you can purchase
there are 10 seconds left. There you see Sean Byram. He's quite a story. Just back after that shoulder surgery. And
Office 5 to reserve your seat for a future ice
injured
game.
in the preseason camp. Big kid, 6'2", 204-pounder, 24 years old. An Islander 4th-round pick in '86. Signed as a free agent by the Chicago Blackhawks in '91. Had 18 goals in 69 games for Indianapolis a year ago. Now, as the clock winds down, the second period is over. The Atlanta Knights scored the lone goal of the second period, as Matt Hervé on a power play put them ahead 3-2, and that's where we stand as players glare at each other at the horn. When we come back, we'll have our home white moving offensively this period down to the right. Atlanta with a 1-goal lead. The penalty box is empty as we start this final 20 minutes. We're 5-on-5 in front of the goalies, and Matt Hervé fires it in for Atlanta. Now Ivan Drupal plays the puck. Atlanta doing a little forechecking here. Herkus couldn't control, and here's Drulia. We'll keep an eye on number 11 in white, because if anybody can break a game, or in this instance, at least come back and tie, it'll be number 11, Tony Herkus. There he is chasing the puck as Indianapolis forces the play a little bit. Now they change, and Atlanta carries to center. They push it all the way down. And icing is called as that pass was started short of the red line.
Well, we played 1 minute and 1 second here of the third period. Again, Atlanta leading by a score of 3-2, and a big period of play for both these clubs, Ken. I think with the All-Star break coming up, and you want to finish the break on a good note. Here's a guy that maybe should take a break. I'm not sure, but has the fans excited here at the State Fairgrounds.
Public address announcer lied. Elvis has not left the building. Now, off the faceoff, Dykhouse fires, never got to Littman. Big collision. Kriva Krasov and Ruff. And Indianapolis plays the puck. Now St. Jacques, 1-on-3. Leaves it for Spear, and that one lands just beyond the organist perch, way up in the crowd here at the Coliseum.
3-2, Atlanta's got the lead. This has been a good one here tonight. Dave Littman, the goaltender for the Atlanta Knights. He's faced 17 Indianapolis ice shots. He's made 15 saves. The guy at the other end, LeBlanc's been a little bit busier.
I'd say he's kicked out 28-31. Littman only played half the game Friday night. Was pulled by Gene Ubriaco. Not so much that he didn't play very well, but I think Ubi at the time was looking for a little psychological lift for his team as well. But David was very disgusted. That was his first game back after a week's layoff. Wendell Young in Atlanta from the Tampa Bay organization played 3 consecutive games, and Littman just wasn't as sharp perhaps as he needed to be, but he's played well here tonight.
Every goaltender you talk to, Ken, they want work. I mean, without a doubt, you ask them, are you playing enough? They say no, I want to go every night. Those guys feel they can get on top of their game the more action they see.
Had Indianapolis played that, it would have been an offside called. So Kriva Krasov let it go, and Atlanta carries into the zone. Ruff with a bouncing puck, couldn't control. Kriva Krasov at center. Too far for St. Jacques. Buchanan hits Berglund with a pass. Here's Berge. He's got a little room. Never got to the goaltender. Now tied up in the corner. Ruff there trying to make a play. He's tied up by Kevin St. Jacques. Ruff just kicking at it along the boards. Leaves it for Colin Miller. Andreevsky's got the stick up on him, and Miller's clearing attempt, centering attempt to the point is cleared into the bench.
Tonight's winner of the on-the-ground hockey stick, Steve Pegg of Indianapolis. Steve Pegg, pick up your prize at the East End Novelty Stand. And the winner for the Adam Bennett Game 1 jersey, ticket number.
With Mike Miller, this is Ken Double. We're here at the Pepsi Coliseum in Indianapolis, Indiana. 17:46 left in the third period of a 3-2 hockey game. Atlanta leading, a goal by Matt Hervey for the Atlanta Knights. The difference in the hockey game right now. Mike, undoubtedly the best game we've seen in our IHL series on Prime Network. The action up and down the rink has been spectacular. Ray LeBlanc, the star.
Well, without a doubt, he's been the star in this hockey game tonight. He's kept Indianapolis in it. And I guess the surprising thing is both these clubs, as you mentioned, Atlanta 4 games in 5 nights, and Indianapolis has had a heavy schedule as well, but you wouldn't know it by watching the action here.
Sean Byram plays the puck. Kahn can't keep control, and Atlanta fires it back in. A 1-goal game, and it appears now a little closer checking on this part of the game as we see the defense begin to take over just a little bit. It was certainly dominated by offense early. Now Atlanta's got a 3-on-2 brewing. Good job by Indianapolis to come back and break that up, and now Egeland almost had a break of his own. Scott Boston with a puck. And we've got a whistle here, and we'll have more hockey after we take this time out. 3-2 Atlanta. This is the IHL on Prime Network. You'll join us for our next telecast. It's Wednesday night, February the 3rd, the IHL All-Star Game from Phoenix. Check your local listings for the time of the telecast in your area. We've had a penalty called against Indianapolis. Too many men on the ice has been called. A tough penalty for John Marks to take with his team down by a goal. Craig Woodcroft will serve the penalty for Indianapolis, and that's a tough one.
8th opportunity for the Atlanta Knights in the power play department. They're 2 for their previous 7, so tough penalty. You're right. You hate to see that call.
Now a centering pass from Drulia, steered wide by Spear on a good play. Indianapolis trying to clear, can't. It's at the point. Now Sean Rivers throws it here to the near side, and Drulia back to Rivers. Cross ice for Hervey. He fires. Good job by LeBlanc. It comes over the glass and out of play. And LeBlanc pointing. He wants the face-off out of the zone, exactly where it's going. 16:19 left. A minute 29 left on a penalty to Indianapolis.
Woodcroft serving that penalty. John Marks in behind the bench area, getting his troops up, and John down by a goal here. And as I think we talked about earlier, can a kill here for Indianapolis in the penalty killing unit. A lot of times that's a change of momentum as well. So a big penalty killing unit out there now for Indianapolis. Herkus, Williams, Dykhouse, and Mike Spear.
And Atlanta countering with a power play unit of Callender, Capuano, and Drulia. Here's Capuano to Callender. Now to the point, and Hervey. Rivers couldn't connect on the pass. Spear has it and finds a hole and sends it all the way down with less than a minute left on the power play.
The guy I like back in that Atlanta blue line is Rivers. He really moves the pucks. Not the biggest guy in the world, but he certainly gets things moving back in the blue line for Atlanta.
Now it's center ice. Across the line. Drulia leaves it for Rivers. And now Gretzky. Check that. It's Boston at the point in front for Drulia. Now Gretzky. Deep slot. A shot. Save. The rebound. Bouncing puck, and Indianapolis able to clear. Ruff had it right there in the slot. It popped over his stick.
18 seconds to go in the power play. Indianapolis trying to kill their 6th Atlanta power play tonight in 8 chances.
Now Gretzky moving in. His shot knocked wide by Toporowski. Played along the fireboards for Kahn. He can't clear the zone. The penalty's over. We're 5-on-5. But the puck right there in the slot. Ruff again couldn't quite get control of the puck. Now along the near boards. Oh, they're pushing and shoving. Toporowski's got an arm on a player, Osborne, as they tie up along the near boards. There's Osborne. He's upset over the course of the play.
No, he and Toporowski, I mean, they've had something going all night long, Ken, and Osborne shakes his head in disgust, and I don't think Gene's very happy with it either.
He won't have to worry so much on Wednesday. It'll be the All-Star game. He can just have some fun. But right now, Ubi leading in the hockey game by 1. With now 14:36 left to go in the game. Face-off coming up in the Indianapolis zone, the Atlanta attack zone.
Now, Indianapolis needs some of that. They need the crowd to get back into this thing and help motivate this Indianapolis Ice Hockey Club, down by a goal here in their home rink.
Mike Miller and Ken Double back at the Pepsi Coliseum in Indianapolis. 14.5 minutes plus left in this hockey game. It's 3-2, Atlanta leading the ice. Atlanta, losers here Friday night, trying to escape this 2-game road trip to Indy with at least 2 points. Now the ice on the attack. Atlanta able to clear the zone. Herkus right back. Tony Herkus lost it. Gets it back at the neutral zone. And it's fired in by the ice. Chris LaPuma feeds rough. He takes a bump from Bancroft, and Williams fires it back in. Indianapolis starts a change of line on the play. Now Boston. Herkus bothering him. Oh, the ice knew there were a lot of, rather the Knights knew there were a lot of ice players in deep. Tried to spring a man behind the defense. The pass too far. It was played by LeBlanc, no icing. Now Herkus feeds Kriva-Krasov. This little guy can fly. He fires it in, takes a bump. And the puck played by Tim Berglund. Berglund played 5 years with the Washington Capitals. Fires the puck ahead. He gets it back, and here comes a 3-on-3 rush for Atlanta. Berglund trying to split the defense. Got a weak shot away. Now along the near boards. Played at center by Eric Dubois. LeBlanc sends it up the far side. Knocked down in the corner. Battle for the puck behind the net. Berglund trying to make a play. Still digging at it. All jammed up. We finally get a whistle. And we'll have more hockey after we take time out for these messages. It's 3-2 Atlanta. This is the IHL on Prime Network. The penalty boxes are empty. It's a 1-goal game in favor of the visiting Atlanta Knights. 12:44 left to go in the hockey game. Face-off in the Indianapolis zone. Jock Callender to take the draw with Sean Byram, and Byram wins the puck. Indianapolis plays it up the far side, and Rob Kahn. Now Matt Hervey for Atlanta. Spear bangs it off the far side. Capuano with it. Takes a bump from Spear. These fans getting excited here in Indianapolis. Start the wave. In the corner, the puck played by Dykhouse, but he can't clear the zone. Atlanta forechecking. Right in front, Callender feeds it to Hervey. He takes his time, tees it up, and the deflected shot is smothered by LeBlanc.
Oh, Callender made a good play just prior to that, centering the pass and held on. Again, vintage Jock Callender. The puck eventually got back to the point where Hervey let it go, but LeBlanc basically grabbing onto a puck that fluttered to the goal mouth area after being deflected from the right point area. Good look at Stan Drulia. We talked about him earlier in the night. Don Niederkorn, the trainer down there for the Indianapolis Ice. He's seen a few hockey games in his day, believe me.
A bit of a gray beard there, Nieder. He's been around a while.
No question about that.
Everybody getting excited. Former NHLer Kurt Bennett former Atlanta Flame. He's now an assistant coach with Atlanta here in the press box. He stood up on the wave from the far point. Good shot by Rivers. Big save by LeBlanc. This guy has been unbelievable tonight, single-handedly keeping his team in the game. He's kicked out 30 of 33 shots.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. Indianapolis, Ken's got to get something going here. It's been all Atlanta here for the last 2 or 3 minutes. It's a one-goal hockey game right now. Anything can happen, but Indianapolis is going to have to start generating some type of offense here.
A lot of time left, 12 minutes left. Here's some offense. Misplayed at the point. Here's Woodcroft. Couldn't get around Buchanan. Centers one, and Rivers steers it wide. Good job by Atlanta coming back. A break for Indianapolis there. Across the line, a shot by Colin Miller. Stick save LeBlanc. Big bump in the corner. Atlanta trying to put on the pressure. Ruff has the puck. To the point, Buchanan. Knocked down by the defense. Buchanan keeps it alive. Behind the net. Comes here to the near side. A penalty coming up on Indianapolis. The puck again behind the cage. Will have the call. As the Atlanta Knights will have the power play when we come back. They lead it 3-2. This is the IHL on Prime Network. Minutes for roughing at the 8:35 mark into the third period.
Well, Atlanta 2 for 8 in the power play, and here's the penalty. Drop out in front, and he's just manhandling people out in front of the goal. Drulia parked out in front. Jason Ruff in behind the goal, and I'm not too sure about that call in a one-goal hockey game with 11:25 to go in the third, but believe me, broadcasting sometime a lot easier in calling a contest. Our referees done a good job tonight. An 8th power play chance, or 9th now. They're 2 for their previous 8.
Hervey blasts one, and LeBlanc makes that save. Hervey's got it again. Now Rivers. Osborne. Osborne, the league's leading goal scorer, has been held scoreless in 2 games. There's a shot. Comes here to the near side. Now Rivers. To Hervey. Gretzky behind the net. Gretzky has a 9-game point scoring streak on the line in this one. He's come alive for Atlanta of late. Wayne Gretzky's younger brother centers one. The one-timer by Hervey fired wide. Now Gretzky. Osborne. Capuano fires it high. LeBlanc got the glove on it and steered it over the glass out of play.
You know, we've talked about LeBlanc quite a bit tonight, Ken, but something else here in the last couple of minutes. The Indianapolis defense blocking a lot of shots. So Atlanta really setting up deep inside the Indianapolis ice zone. And with all the power play opportunities now that Atlanta's receiving, it's tough for Indianapolis to get back in their game rhythm right now. All they're doing is killing penalties. There's a quick shot, and LeBlanc throws the left hand up, gets a piece of that, and goes sailing about 3 or 4 rows up into the seating area.
A minute
30 to go, 1:05 to go in the Atlanta power play.
And the draw won by Callender to Rivers. Atlanta with the man advantage and a 1-goal lead. Nearing the halfway mark of the third period. Drulia blisters one, a shot save, rebound for Callender, and another save by LeBlanc. Now Callender moving right in front. It rolled off the end of his stick. He retrieves it in the corner. Behind the net for Drulia. 35 seconds on the power play. Drulia leaves it in the far corner, comes right back here to Stan. Now Ruff feeds Rivers to Drulia. Deep slot Buchanan. Couldn't get a shot away. He got bumped right away. Now 15 seconds left on the Atlanta power play. Rough cross ice to Trulia. Couldn't shoot right away, but now Rivers can't control the bouncing puck. Buchanan feeds it to Ruff. Throws it in front. Saved the rebound. Cleared by Spear. 4, 3, 2, 1 second left on the power play. Now Callender feeds Trulia. Callender took a big bump behind the net. Atlanta keeping on the pressure. Indianapolis would even take an icing call right now. Trulia in front. Couldn't get a shot away. He's still got the puck. He's got a little room. Rivers, his shot knocked down by the defense. And Atlanta will have to retreat and pick up the puck. No icing here. No, indeed, we do have icing called with 8:53 left to go in the hockey game. 3-2
Atlanta. Been outstanding. Sorry, Kenny, but he's been great. You know, the bad thing about it is the go-ahead goal by Atlanta. I don't think he made a very good play on. That's the only bad play the guy's made tonight. He's been outstanding all night long. He's made huge saves at point-blank range. 40 shots on goal now for the Atlanta Knights Hockey Club. He's made 37 saves. Indianapolis comes out of this game with a win. The guy we just looked at a moment ago, Ray LeBlanc, will be the reason why. He's been outstanding. He's held him in there. He's given the ice a chance.
A sellout crowd watching this one in Indianapolis, turning out to cheer on their favorites. They had a big crowd in here Friday night for that game against Atlanta, as attendance in the International Hockey League continues to climb. The Knights win the faceoff. Hervé has the puck. A shot, a stick save, LeBlanc. As you talked about earlier, Mike, Indianapolis has to try and generate something on offense, and they really need now to stay out of the penalty box. Another 2-minute power play for Atlanta with now just 8.5 minutes left could be a killer for Indianapolis. They need to generate a break, and it starts with good defense. Get the puck out of your own end. Now Dykhouse steers it in. And Atlanta has the puck in their own zone. They spin it around the boards to center ice, and it's played by the Indianapolis Ice and Kerry Toporowski. Now Kriva Krasov. Here's a guy can get something started. Andreevsky. He can't control the puck from center ice. Topper flips it ahead. Puma up the far side. Blouin just flips a high one to center, and it's played by Atlanta. Miller couldn't control the puck. Here's Dropa. Ivan Dropa across the line. A drop pass for Andreevsky. They were too close to each other. Couldn't connect. Now the other way. It's Gretzky for Atlanta. Cross ice trying to find a cutting Keith Osborne. They couldn't connect. The Knights dump it back in. They have to clear, and Indianapolis sends it all the way down, trying to find Rob Kahn on a break. He fires a quick shot, stick saved by Littman. He did a good job to create an opportunity there, Mike.
Absolutely. One of the few opportunities Indianapolis has had in the period. You got to wonder about Littman standing down here. No further play. They hold in the corner, but Littman standing down here all period. You know, he hasn't seen a lot of shots, and you wonder if the Ice aren't going to catch him off guard with one here. But the Ice have to get something going. And I see it coming. They're going to have a couple of flurries here. Don't think with 7:10 to go in this hockey game, the Ice aren't going to get a couple of good cracks at Littman. Whether they cash in or not, that'll be the key.
Our next telecast is coming up this Wednesday, February the 3rd. It'll be the IHL All-Star Game, and we're looking forward to see the best of this league go at it. The future stars of the NHL. Check your local listings for the prime affiliate in your area that will air the All-Star Game on Wednesday night. Chance to have a visit with everybody in the league all at once. Now Dropa fires a blocker, saved by Littman. That might have been a little high, but might have been going to top shelf as well. Now it's center ice. Osborne has the puck. Feeds it ahead to Samard, and Osborne takes a bump from Rob Kahn. Now Samard takes a check from Bancroft. The puck's still free, and Kahn steers it to center ice. Inside 7 minutes left in this hockey game. Indianapolis trying to find an opportunity. Third period shots on goal. Look at that. 10-2 favoring Atlanta, but they've had a couple of power plays here in the period. And their forechecking, Mike, has been good. They've kept, in addition to the power play opportunities, they've kept Indianapolis bottled up, has Atlanta.
Yeah, they really have, and that's been a real key tonight, is Indianapolis trying to move the puck out of their own end. Here's a guy that normally does it, is Bancroft, and he'll just flip it out the center there.
Atlanta dumps it right back in. The game now becomes a bit of a chess match. Territorial advantage. Keep the puck out of your own zone, says Gino Briacco. Now Indy carries ahead with Tracy Egelin. He fires it in. Littman way out. Almost a break there, and now Williams pushes it into the corner for Woodcroft. Callender there fires it ahead for Drulia, who pushes it ahead. No icing here with nearing 5.5 minutes left in the hockey game. 3-2 in favor of Atlanta. Now LaPuma in his own zone. Chris LaPuma, who just was called up for 1 game by Tampa Bay. But would you believe, Mike, he started, he played on the power play and took a regular shift on a 1-game call-up. Had an opportunity to show his stuff to the big club.
That keeps you going for another 15, 20 games in the minors.
Now Jason Ruff has his shot knocked down on a good play by Mike Spear. Spear runs him off the puck, but it's alive there for Colin Miller. Miller centers one, knocked wide by the defense, and here comes Indianapolis. It's Herkus. Lost it right at the blue line as Atlanta did a good job to stand up the ice right there on the defensive play. 4:40 left in the hockey game. And we have a whistle on an offside pass. 4:36 left in this hockey game. 3-2 Atlanta. And we'll be back after these messages. This is the IHL on Prime Network. In his bag of tricks, see if he can get some help. I don't think that guy can help outside of applause.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think so either.
And if he's driving home, I hope he's not leaving right away, or that he leaves after I do.
Absolutely. But you're right, John Marks now really starting to have to look at this thing, some things to do here, kind of generate some offense. There's John right now, the wheels turning. Obviously the one thing, John over the years has been known to pull his goaltender probably a lot earlier than a lot of coaches. You can maybe see LeBlanc out of the goal mouth area, maybe a minute 10, a minute 20. But the only problem with that is, and you talked about it, territorial advantage to Atlanta. You don't want to pull him out of there with Atlanta forcing play deep inside the Indianapolis ice zone.
Now the puck cleared down by Atlanta. No icing here, and LeBlanc tees it up for Dropin. There you see the time left in the hockey game. And now Indianapolis has to think about gambling with the defenseman a little bit too, and that creates opportunities the other way. The chess match continues, and speaking of opportunities, here's a chase up the rink right now with Ruff. Ruff stops in the circle, centers one, Berglund a shot. What a stick save by LeBlanc. He held his ground and made the big stop there. Now Indianapolis fires it in. Ruff couldn't clear the zone. Great job keeping it in front. Now Kevin St. Jacques, he's taken down behind the net. Now the puck to the far side, and Spear, he keeps it alive. There's a stick behind the cage interrupting play, but Krivokrasov has it. Trying to get it to Dykes, who was open at the point, couldn't connect on the pass. Now Buchanan for Atlanta tying up with St. Jacques. Miller gets the puck, and they flip it out of the zone with now just over 3 minutes left. And now we've got pushing and shoving in front of the benches.
Krivokrasov and Jason Ruff right in front of the Atlanta bench area there. Spear moments ago made a good play coming in from the left point to hold that puck in on a puck that was trying to be cleared out of the Atlanta zone, probably about head high. He held it in. That led to a bit of a Indianapolis offensive flurry there. They didn't get any good shots, but at least we're setting the puck up deep in the Atlanta zone. They're going to have to do a lot more of that here in the last 3 minutes.
3 minutes and 7 seconds left. In a 1-goal game, it's 3-2. The difference in the hockey game right now, Matt Hervey's goal, his 10th of the year, late in the second period. Calendar started the scoring for Atlanta. Ruff made it 2-0 in a first period dominated by Atlanta, but then Indianapolis came back to make it 2-1, tied it on a 5-on-3 advantage early in the second period, and then Hervey put Atlanta on top, and that's where we stand right now. Penalties coming up, offsetting 2-minute penalties, and that puts a lot of room on the big rink.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Ken. Double 4-on-4 situation. Atlanta's killed penalties most of the first portion of this third period. 5-on-5, they haven't had much luck. Let's see what they can do now 4-on-4.
The faceoff won by Atlanta. Key facet of the game, the Atlanta Knights have won an awful lot of faceoffs in this contest tonight.
Really have.
Now here comes Sean Williams. The veteran rolls it into the corner and follows. Takes a run into the boards. Battle for the puck, and it's won by LaPuma.
Good play there by that youngster.
And that will be ruled a two-line pass as Capuano caught up with the puck on the other side of the red line. 1:34 remaining on the coincidental minor penalties. The penalties called to Dropa and Ruff. Dropa, 2 minutes for roughing. Ruff a cross check at the 16:53. No, Ruff the cross check. Get this right. Ruff sits for the cross check, and the guilty party for Indianapolis was Kriva Krasov. There we go. Get the right bodies in the penalty box.
2:39 to go on this one.
And again, still 4-on-4 for just under a minute and a half. Now Hervey, content to just kind of sit there with the puck behind the net for a little while, throws it ahead. It's deflected into the zone. A chase for the puck. The icing is waved off. Now Bancroft sends it behind the net in Indianapolis now with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left. Heads up the rink in a 4-on-4 in front of the goaltender situation, trailing a goal. A blocker save on the long shot. Atlanta pushes it ahead but not out. Now the Knights feed Calendar 1-on-1. Now played behind the net by Dykhouse. Now Kahn. Herkus fires. Big save there by Littman. Had it all the way. And with 1:39 left and a face-off coming up now in the Atlanta zone, we'll look to find out what's going to happen with Ray LeBlanc. Herkus not hesitating at all. And again, Littman got it high. Good look at the youngster Tony Herkus. Made one little move and might have surprised Littman just a little bit. Now LeBlanc is still in his net. He'll wait for the signal. If Indianapolis wins control of this faceoff, LeBlanc will probably head to the bench. He's not moving yet, and the Ice have the puck. Now behind the net, Littman steers it to his defense. And here comes Atlanta to center. It's Berglund. Has the puck tied up in his skates. Gets around the defenseman. That was Herkus. Now Berglund. Still just ragging time with 1:15 left to go. 8 seconds on the coincidental minor penalties. Now Atlanta just pushing the puck in the zone, and now it's played by Dykhouse. We're back to 5-on-5 in front of the goaltenders.
1 minute.
Kriva Krasov blasts a long one. Littman got it on the inside of the pad. And the Knights bang it off the glass all the way down. This will be an icing call with now just 47 seconds left in the hockey game. It's 3-2 Atlanta. Ray LeBlanc moving toward the bench. Will he get instructions? No, he'll take a seat on the bench. John Marks will go with 6 attackers. And he'll send out the big guns. Leading scorer Tony Herkus will take the faceoff. Kriva Krasov is out there. Sean Williams, the veteran, is out there. Woodcroft is out there. It'll be Dropa and Bancroft on the points, and those two guys can fire the biscuit. Atlanta counters with Capuano, Calendar, and Osborne. The defensemen are Hervé and LaPuma. 47 ticks on the clock. Indianapolis looking for the tying opportunity. Krivik-Krasov and Osborne jockeying for position. The referee steps in. Now we're ready to go. Here's Hervé with the puck and an empty net for Indianapolis. Big collision along the near side. The puck free. Scooted down the ice, and we're going to have penalties called. A huge collision. The sticks got up. Williams colliding with Capuano. We have a cross check called against Atlanta. Indianapolis goes on the power play. A big break here with 38 seconds remaining. Ubriaco is beside himself on the bench. There's the replay. Capuano gets the cross-checking penalty.
22.
And an incredible turn of events as far as Atlanta is concerned. An unbelievable opportunity now for Indianapolis. With the goaltender pulled, as you see the low angle shot of all the action there. With the goaltender pulled, they will now skate with 2 extra attackers as Dave Capuano goes to the penalty box. An important face-off coming here. Atlanta to the bench in front of Gene Ubriaco. Indianapolis has called their timeout. They're discussing strategy in front of the bench with John Marks. There you see David Littman. He has kicked out 20 of 22 shots thrown at him. In a spectacular game, Ray LeBlanc, who is now on the bench, kicked out 39 of 42 shots thrown at him. There's LeBlanc. He has been unbelievable between the pipes, and now all he can do is play spectator to see if his team can force overtime. Now the timeout is over. Atlanta sends out the penalty-killing unit of Jock Callender, Timmy Berglund, Chris LaPuma, and Matt Hervé. The 6 attackers for John Marks are again Herkus at center, with Williams, Krivik-Krasov, Woodcroft, Dropa, and Bancroft, the same 6 that were on the ice. The fans are on their feet, anticipating a wild 38 seconds to finish. There you see the empty Indianapolis net. If Atlanta can control the faceoff, they could put it away with a shot all the way down. It's Callender, and he just missed. This will be an icing call. No, they wave off the icing. Oh, of course, Atlanta's shorthanded. They can do that. Pardon me on the mistake on the call on the icing. Now we're down to 15 seconds. Indianapolis looking for one clean shot. They push it ahead, and it's swept all the way down the rink by Berglund. That will miss, but with 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, the puck is played up the far side, and this hockey game is over. Indianapolis unable to get a clear shot with the 2-man advantage, having pulled the goaltender. And the Atlanta Knights score the victory on enemy ice tonight. The final score, Atlanta 3, Indianapolis 2, in front of a sellout crowd at the Pepsi Coliseum. And now these 2 teams will take the All-Star break before the unofficial second half of the IHL season picks up following the All-Star game in Phoenix. When we come back, we'll have our post-game show and more after this timeout. 3-2 the final for Atlanta, and we'll have more from Indianapolis after this. This is the IHL on Prime Network.
Who's having fun? Who's been to Hooters? Come on, everyone, it's at Hooters. Hooters. Hooters makes you happy. Hooters makes you happy. Hooters makes you happy. Hooters makes you happy. Good times, great food, fun music, what a hoot. Hooters. Hooters. Everybody's getting happy at Hooters.
The Atlanta Knights score the victory in Indianapolis. They've now won 6 out of their last 7 games, winning it 3-2 here at the Pepsi Coliseum. Let's go to Bianca with the All-Star game, and we hope you're going to join us on Wednesday night as we have that for you from Phoenix. From Indianapolis, we had an exciting hockey game and a big win for the Atlanta Knights. The final score, 3-2 over the Indianapolis Ice. The IHL on Prime Network was brought to you by RCA Consumer Products, changing entertainment again. And by Motrin IB. Tonight's telecast was a copywritten production of Prime Network and the IHL. Until Wednesday, Ken Double saying so long, everybody.